We dated a few girls, actually, and then we met Alyssa, and she took a liking to both of us right away and took completely naturally to polyamory. And then about 6 months ago, we met Mary Ashley, who introduced herself as being polyamorous.
So I met Joshua first through a mutual friend of ours.
And then on our very first date, he told me he was dating Sarah and showed me a picture, and I was like, okay. And like I already knew I was bisexual, so I was like, you know, we can try this.
The first time she came over, I had to leave the next day, and I actually just left her at my house, and her and Sarah hung out.
Yeah, like 3 days.
And I was kind of
into dating.
texting like, hey, is everything cool? And they're like, yeah, we're just hanging out.
Yeah, like went to the mall together and everything was good.
Yeah.
So it just kind of progressed from there. Of course, it told me about you and Alyssa that night and said, you have to meet my girlfriends. And it's a true sign of a real poly person.
And it's been history ever since. Started picking up beautiful additions along the way, and how could I possibly complain?
We've realized that everybody brings strengths to the group that one other person might not necessarily have. And that's one of the beautiful things about polyamory is that if you love something about somebody, you can love that about them. And if you love something else about someone else, you can love that about them, and it's okay. And nobody gets upset about it. One thing, too, that I would mention is that I love is the interaction between everybody, because some of us are neater than others, and some of us are more like free spirit, and some of us are better at budgeting money, and some of us are better at spending money. And together, we sort of pick up where the others maybe slack a little bit.
It's great because I've always known that it's hard to get everything you need from one person. I've been in polyamorous relationships before, and it just never worked as well as it has with this one. They just all have their qualities. Time to just enjoy each other's qualities at different times. You know, when we want to talk fashion, hang with her. When we want to talk gardening and earthy stuff, Joshua. And we want to talk getting stuff done and motivating these two to do things.
When we're herding the cats.
So it's just,
It really does take away from any boredness.
it makes life easier.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard
really does.
to expect so much from one
It's
person.
not fair to expect to get everything you need from one person.
And then the other one that I get is, you know, Joshua is like, you know, controlling all of us and like forcing all of us to be in this
Get that
like
along.
relationship. And I'm like, no, definitely not. Like I chose him like by my own free will, and I love both of them. It's not like, you know, we're all just here for Joshua and we don't love each other too. So I think people just don't quite understand that it's not, you know, some kinky thing that Joshua has us doing, or, you know, that we got sucked into.
Forced
It's like
into
a
it.
conscious choice that we're making on purpose.
And I would never want someone to stay with me because, well, she feels stuck. She can't leave. She can't go be with someone else. These women are here because they want to be on this couch with me. They chose that. It's not because, well, they're financially dependent, or, you know, I own them because they're my wives or something like that. It's because they want to be here. And that's why we're all having so much fun, because we chose this.
You know, a lot of people ask if we're Mormon or polygamous, and we're all here by force, and, you know, it's like we couldn't be more free. I don't understand. I've never had a guy that's less jealous who lets me do whatever I want with all open honesty. People associate a lot with polygamy or religion.
And they do associate it a lot with kink.
Yeah.
They think that we're sexaholics.
Yeah, something
or
wrong with us.
slutty, you know. And I'm actually quite modest.
One of the most beautiful things about polyamory is the openness of the communication. You can really easily, once you are that open about your feelings and your desires, you can articulate your expectations, and everybody's needs are different. When people find out that we are polyamorous, a lot of the, or one of the objections that they raise is, well, I could never share my boyfriend.
Yeah.
You get a lot more when you open yourself up to that possibility.
I think a lot of jealousy is it's just fear. And we have a lot less to be fearful about because we're a lot more open.
Yeah.
You know, once you take away that monogamous expectation, then all of these little problems that, dissolve
Yes.
marriages and people kill over it. Once you realize that fairy tale story is not the only story, then so many different worlds open up for you.
Yeah. When jealousy is not an issue, it's amazing how easy relationships can work. When things like tedious little stupid problems are gone, of who are you talking to, who are you texting, what were you looking at online, who are you with this weekend, just the questions that dominate hours of your time and just take away so much of your emotional energy to be able to enjoy.
A lot of people just don't know any better. They're raised up into thinking, I own this person and this person is not going to be touched or whatever by another person. But we don't own anyone. We are all here and happy because we're here of our own free will. We're not signed into a contract. We don't own anyone. And the second that we start feeling like that, that's when problems start to arise.
Yeah. Jealousy is it's a force that tears people apart. And there's a way to work through it. And I don't think humans are naturally jealous. People think it's an emotion that we cannot get over. It is inherent in romantic relationships, and it's natural, and it's supposed to be there. And that if you don't get jealous, there's something missing. And it's like, what?
We've made a lifestyle choice, and it's our sexual preference, and that's what we want to do, and hopefully we will see more acceptance.
Gay marriage has been legalized. Like, nobody cares when I say I have a girlfriend. But then when they find out I have two and a boyfriend, then it's like, oh, now it's a big deal. And it's like, why does it matter that I have more than one, but it doesn't matter that I have one? So I think that it's going to move in the right direction. It's just going to take time.